Hi folks, Rory here from Team Venom Media. Welcome to this video, which is an exclusive interview with the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers. Now, Brian's someone that I've been a massive fan of for years, and well, as you watch this, you'll see just how much of a fan I am because I genuinely got like fanboyed over this. So yeah, enjoy.
The other week was the return of Impact to the UK. I went and saw a couple of fantastic nights in Coventry. You faced Grado one night, teamed with Moose the next against Grado and Joe Hendry. And I saw you put a tweet out saying that it was the most enjoyable international show that you'd done, the international tour that you'd done in the 20 years of your career. What was it that made it so special for you?
Well, it was a combination of things, right? It was, the fans won. Every night they were electric. I mean, we're coming off that announcement of, the brand change and being TNA wrestling and hearing those chants every night. And then the UK crowd just being so appreciative of us being over there, and they realizing that it's not something that happens very often. And you certainly felt the love. And when you're a performer, all you want to hear is people making noise and chanting and having a good time. And we certainly got that every night. And then the rest was just being with the crew. The Impact Wrestling crew is just phenomenal. We really are like a big family. We're all friends. We all play hard. We all party hard. You're together. You're in buses. You're away from your families. It's good camaraderie time. And I think if you ask anybody who was on that trip, they'll tell you that it was a really special time and really good for the company in so many ways.
Okay. Thank you. You faced Grado on the first night in Coventry, and team with Moose against Grado and Joe Hendry on the second night. Has there been any talks of Grado coming back to TNA properly? And if so, is that something that you'd be looking to revisit?
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I love Grado. I met Grado years ago before he was a super famous non-wrestling celebrity. But I think he's someone that literally lights up a room when he's around. He makes everything kind of better. So if there was an opportunity for him to be a full-time TNA wrestler, I would be all for it. That would be a really cool thing. But I don't know if his life or schedule permits something like that.
Fair enough. What are the obviously I know you just said about him coming back to TNA wrestling and such. One of the biggest news for Impact over the last few months is the rebranding of TNA as of Hard to Kill in January. Are you can you give us any insight as to whether you're playing a part of that show and if there's anything that you're scheduled for at the moment or anything that you're hoping
I honestly don't know. With the two matches that have been announced are Trinity and Jordan Grace for the women's championship, and then obviously Moose and Alex Shelley for the world title. I don't know what I'll be doing, but I will be there. Over my dead body type situation. I think it's just such a landmark event for the company, and there's so much buzz and excitement about it that I don't even care what I do. I just want to be a part of it. I want to be there for the history of it and the excitement that this company deserves. I've been there 3.5 years and been putting on awesome shows, and I feel like there's finally a lot of buzz and some eyes on the product, and it feels good and it feels right. So I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Cool. What are the things that people are looking to for the TNA rebranding is the people that are classed as TNA originals and former champions and stuff like that. Obviously, you held the tag titles, albeit briefly, with Trevor Lee a few years back when you were part of Global Force coming in, but you're actually a former TNA tag team champion, which is pretty cool. Is that something that you're going to be looking to go for again with Moose?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the most professional wrestling guys, we're clicking on all cylinders, man. It's been a blast, and every match we have, we get better and better, just like we should. I think we're like a scary force to be reckoned with in that tag division. Obviously, Moose has the briefcase, and he's got his eyes set and hard to kill, so I will let him remain focused on that. But in 2024, I think the tag titles are ours for the taking, really.
Cool. Well, speaking of tag titles, you've been no stranger to tag teams over the years. done a lot of stuff with Matt Cardona in various forms, including winning the WWE Tag Team Championships, the Raw Tag Team Championships. Is there anything planned for Cardona to come back and potentially team with you in the future after those titles in Impact?
I mean, it's safe to say Matt Cardona is the #1 independent pro wrestler in the world today. He's doing incredibly well for himself. I think that decision is up to him and Scott D'Amore to come to some kind of mutual agreement. And he's my best friend and business partner. I'd want him to be a part of TNA wrestling, and especially now with all the excitement we have going on. So that's not for me to answer, but obviously, you know, where my heart would lie in that decision.
Okay. Well, you've been around down on featured on prominently on TV in some form or other since around about 2006, I think it was. How have you been able to keep reimagining your character? I know you've got you've had like a core character that you've stayed true to, but then you've sort of tweaked it here or there and freshened yourself up quite a bit over the years. How have you managed to keep doing it in a way that's seen you on TV regularly?
I think it's just a matter of, for me personally, I just never want to lose like the childlike wonder of why I became a wrestler in the first place. You know, something that captivated me when I was 5 years old and I fell in love with it. And I think as long as I have that love of the business and what I'm doing, you know, I just stay positive and work as hard as I can in any situation I'm given. Like, things will kind of fall into my lap. You know, stay relevant. That, you know, I control the things I can be in control of, right? Which in wrestling is only a handful, but I can always control my attitude or my look. So those things I'll always keep in check as long as I can, and just appreciate being a pro wrestler, right? Because it's such a unique and difficult job, and only so many of us are even blessed to be able to do it in the first place. So every day that I'm a wrestler, you know, I'm doing all right. I'm a happy guy, and that doesn't matter if I'm the world champion or opening the show. You know, it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, I've been sorry if I'm stuttering a bit. I've been a big fan of yourself for years. Obviously I watched you when you're part of the Edgeheads, doing the whole things with La Familia and all that lot, and watched the Global Force Invasion. So yeah, as I say, apologies if I'm stammering a little bit every now
Don't
and
worry
again.
about it.
A little bit intimidated.
Don't
But
worry about it.
but you've given a lot of fans, including myself, so many memorable things over the years. What's been your #1 moment in wrestling?
I don't really know if I have one. I think I'm always searching for it, right? You know, I think if I sit back and think about all the cool stuff I've done and all the things I've accomplished, then maybe I'd be resting on that. And I don't want to do that. I just keep the foot on the pedal and keep going forward. And I'm searching that next thing, you know, the next buzz, that next cool wrestling thing that keeps me motivated. So I never like to say like, oh, this was it, because then that's it. I'm still looking for it.
Well, fair enough. And lastly, is there anyone on the current TNA roster that you haven't faced yet that you'd love to face?
It's tough to answer because like I said, I've been there 3.5 years and I've kind of dabbled with everybody. I mean, there's people on there that I certainly love to work with. I don't know if there's anyone that I haven't worked with yet that I would love to work with. I've been enjoying working with Frankie Kazarian lately. When we never had wrestled in all these years, but we really click, and that's been fun. Maybe Bully Ray. I mean, I've worked with Bully Ray, but I've never really had like a match with Bully Ray, and maybe that's the answer at the moment.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, man.